Welcome back. It was a very awesome game of Mirage. If you look at the head-to-head before that match, I believe it was 2-1 for ATK, but they're still an underdog. Very much so. Regardless of the short-term results, they're still an underdog. And I think it was a cool story. Hard not to root for them in that one. Very entertaining, very engaging. However, MIBR come out on top. I do think there's some difficulty there with the forcing of the two AWPs on the CT side. Again, we've seen it, I think, twice this week at least. So far, not so good. Again, still a small sample size, so we will see how that develops. However, there is more Counter-Strike to be played. I've got to do a time check because this is going to change to 428 at the top of the hour. Let's not forget how many days it's been since we could draw on the map. No one will forget. We're just going to spread the knowledge, and it's only going to have more people wanting to draw on the map, as is essential. Actually, I have my MS Paint badge somewhere, which I can draw, and it has a whiteboard, but I've left it. It's not in the studio right now. I should leave it here.
You should.
I should. I was going to make a video with it, but I didn't do that. So we go. We all picked ATK. Do we think their best chance to win has come and gone? Are they still going to win in our eyes? Or
We'll go to Inferno next, right?
have they been figured out?
I think Inferno's the third map. Wait, no, it's the second map. Sorry. I
Yeah,
think it's
Inferno's next.
I believe so. I'm double checking actually.
So
My mind's gone completely blank. I
know.
left my book on my desk.
Dust 2 final.
I mean, we saw some good stuff from
Inferno and
ATK.
Dust 2, yeah.
We saw some good stuff from ATK, but we saw some glaring problems, especially on their CT side. They don't have that same pizzazz like on their T side. T side looked good, at least for the first half of the first 6-7 rounds. Looked pretty flawless, actually. And then as the match got longer, MIBR got better.
Yes.
And that's the problem. MIBR adjusted nicely, and they just started capitalizing on the mistakes from ATK, like MOTM.
Yeah.
So many times he'd just peek for info and die with no help out in the middle or con. At least like 3-4 times he died in con alone, and it was tilting to watch.
Rotating out of connector, sorry, out of the underpass, into mid. Not like if you saw again, if you saw how ATK did it each time and lost, and then you saw that's really interesting, and you saw how like Fallen did it, put the smokes up, had support from connector and so on. It's just it's night and day. It's a learning process, but maybe a costly one for ATK. They will start on the CT side of Inferno. We can have a look at the knives. Honestly, that black and yellow combo on the CT side is pretty nice. Green and red. People say red and green should never be seen, but I guess because of the association with Christmas. But you can do a lot of red and green, really. Just like some are good, some are not so good. So you just have to have some smarts to it. Well, it will, in fact, be MIBR starting on a CT side. Man, flip knives are honestly underrated. That's a fantastic one. The green color of Brazil present with MIBR. What does MOTM have to show us? Where's those black and yellow gloves, man? That contrast is great. Maybe I'll get a law knife. We've got Pincus Maximus on OC. Here we are, pistol. It's business time. ATK with 3 sets of Kevlar. They've got a P250 on JT. Happy to see that. He is also one of the 2 grenade men. Speaking of which, we've got sound cues being looked for, listened for by Fur. We've got a change in approach. Oh!
Wow.
Could have done so much, but no. Denied by, surely the step protected Floppy. I think it did. He should have been a goner, but such is the nature of the ground. Then we've got more utility. Fallen with the pop flash.
Good trade though onto Fur, and the setup has been spotted. Lucas gets dinked on the way out as well, so he's very fragile. But ATK are not forcing the issue. That's really, really smart. Don't have to do it. Sure, you might have numbers advantage, but they've got position and the smoke to play with, so you can just wait it out. Tuck on the other end of things, he's been extremely good this series. One of the best players for MIBR, absolutely. I think if not for Taco on that in regulation on Mirage, MIBR could have just got crushed. See ATK leave Sonic top banana, and he's doing a lot of damage actually. Gets a pick. 2 players to go. KG unable to find that one. Just get punished. And now Lucas, of course, left on that 2 HP on the bomb side is done for. What's kind of cool here about ATK is that they're just making calls on the fly. They didn't have anything set. They're just trying to be smart. And the communication must be really good. Like, they must have top-tier communication to be able to do this so fluidly.
Yeah, and they have a pretty good setup here. Triangle, but Sonic will get taken out by Taco. Taco does spot one at the new box. Does not know where he is. Pops the shot.
Ooh,
That came a lot closer than it should have been.
that's scary. And Taco's been scary. He been scary. That's what Americans would say, right? He been scary.
Is that what we sound like?
Some of them, some of you. Some of you. Taco's been a real problem. He was integral to the recovery from MIBR in Mirage. And all week. He's been he's been having MVP performances. ATK start off their T side on the right foot. MIBR have a plan, however. Liking these mini plans from MIBR. 2HE, some spam from Fallen. Fair will try to add to the offerings from the B-bomb site. The smoke is up, and again, ATK will... They've baited out that initial utility. They've got a 5 versus 4. They are keeping the CTs honest with Floppy and Sonic towards the mid position. Second mid and mid. So all is well.
Flashbang. That's good timing, because that's just when MIBR were pushing. OTM having a good sense of it. Spots the push. There's a defensive nade. Hits Taco with it. He will get taken out though, but again, it's by design. Oh my god, look at the damage there. That's insane. That actually makes it doable for these MIBR players walking in, especially with that dink. Look how weak they are. The MIBR commit. Does Taco want to go for it? I mean, he absolutely shouldn't. He's going to do so much damage here. Floppy got a nade in his hand. Oh dear. Now it's looking very scary indeed. They do have 2 rifles, but one is a Galil.
No defuse kit. Just damage. Or maybe something to salvage. KNG doesn't have too much to lose. Actually, the loss bonus, the kill bonus might be higher with the SMG, but the pistol might be enough. Through the smoke. He'll take it all. But ATK have the round. And that's the focus for now. They are 1 map down ATK. They will feel like chances have come and gone, but you've got to let go of them. You've got to let go of the past and focus on the future. History is just that. You can't change it.
New map, new you.
Yeah.
Are there cases, by the way, where the special item is just a glove? Like, there's no...
I think there's a glove case called a glove case.
Okay.
I think so. I think there's a glove case, yeah.
There is a
Okay,
glove case.
so it's either a knife or a glove.
I have no idea.
I think
what
it's a
the
glove.
gloves are.
Okay.
I think it's just a glove.
But is there a chance for gloves to drop in other cases? Like what cases? I don't even know.
I don't know. Just buy them, Dan. Don't be a case opener. If you want some gloves, buy some gloves.
He likes the rush, the thrill of gambling away his money.
MOTM will creep. Surely a flash is on the way. Dry peeks into the B-bomb site, and that flash comes very, very late indeed. Why you no flash? Well, at this point, actually, the Molly doesn't go deep enough, but OC will prefer to try and get something done. He's got grenades. Now, does he consider his element of surprise? He has to try and isolate a player. He looks left for OC, but he's towards the right-hand side, and Fallen will find an AK-47 and run for his life, it seems. Not wanting to be chased. ATK, I don't think it matters at this point how they win a round, as long as they win the round.
Sonic's had some pretty nutty performances. As his first kill, and he gets the double entry here. This is... Oh, it's a clean transfer. That's lovely. I did wonder what it would look like, because we saw, not from his perspective initially, you know, that push coming in, and it's like, okay, who's gonna actually win this battle? And then instantly, you can see.
I'm so happy that ATK used some smokes and flash in the middle. We saw in last map, MIBR was on some kind of round. And ATK kind of just peaked slowly, and 2 different choke points got picked off immediately. So glad to see that they made a little adjustment. Whether it's by map
Touched twice by the flames. You'll have to back away. And ATK have a lot of real estate to work with at this point. Or they will soon, at least, once they take middle. Sonic working on holding banana for now.
Off the round, they have no rounds. They are roundless. Fallen with a pre-fire. Respect. That's reasonable damage for MOTM, on MOTM, all things considered. A jump peek, but I don't think he's sort of player in the pit. MIBR have some positions. How will these be dealt with? Will they be dealt with? Apparently not. MOTM picked off by Taco. Just running towards the pit, exposing himself. Wasn't really checking the angles, looking elsewhere, and that's been costly. 2 versus 4. The bomb's not even played. They've got to make a forward play. MIBR simply waiting. They are surrounded like it's an 80s action movie. Sonic with 8 HP. This is versus 1.5 players.
Significant damage, even in the rounds in which ATK have won. They've taken away many of the weapon.
Is that they keep force buying for 3-4 rounds in a row until they, but it was almost close to 5 to 6K each.
With the success that they've had, JT hunting with the MAC-10, but there are more CTs to come. Lucas will trade and hold the position thanks to a T-side creep. Bulldozer, very nice. Needs a Space Soldiers logo on the top. Fallen, again, just dry peeking. So many dry peeks from ATK. But again, they have one flashbang at this point, so fair enough. They're going to have to dry peek something and hold that onto that one flashbang for the site, I would assume. Money sucks for ATK now. They have been sent to Eco Town. Not much to do there, but twiddle your thumbs and watch the dust whistle just roll across the floor.
A tumbleweed.
That's what I was looking for. I lost the words, man. I've been speaking a lot today with some pistols, but do they have a plan with it? Ooh, well.
Push down banana though for MIBR. I don't know how JT escaped, but he did. Doesn't really help though that he stays alive because they don't have a way to retake this position. Well, this is just for can I? So will. There it is.
Important round for ATK. MOTM not having a great game so far. But it's a new round, change it around. Let's see what you got going now. The dry peaks are not worked for ATK, especially MIBR. I have 2 ops. Please do not dry peek into an op, please.
Late incendiary. MOTM, oh, he's almost missed the Molotov completely. I wonder if he's nervous. 3-3. And these AWPs are going to be such a problem. I feel like we're going to see a strong CT half from MIBR now. I think they just absorbed so much information about their opponents and kind of play, the kind of aggressive play style they can play against ATK. At least on the CT side of Inferno.
It might be better for MIBR than the Quest because ATK plays like a team, like a top-level team, whereas the Quest is like very puggy. You know, not to discredit them in any way, it's just kind of what it is. That's a great peek under Fallen. Fur in the elevated position falls off to second oranges, and his teammate Lucas has done quite some damage, sets Fur up, tees him up for even greater things. OC picks up the AWP. Oh dear, the smoke's gone. He's going to get out of there. He's got 40 seconds for the rotation. And Taco is going to make his way across, and Taco can beat him to position, which is a problem. OC just has to go for it. He's got the AWP.
Does he consider? No, he doesn't, but fortunate enough to have a second opportunity, unfortunate enough that it's Taco, and he just wants to wreck everybody today, it seems. Taco continues to beast, to smash, to just consume people without chewing. And again, MIBR look like they are in a driving seat now. They look strong. They look like they have solved the biggest questions that ATK were asking of them. And I don't know if ATK will have an answer at this point. We've seen a lot of rounds where ATK have been really short on flashbangs, and they've had to go for jiggle peaks. We saw a nice one from JT towards Banana, or towards the B bomb site rather, in the previous round or two. But I want to see them with a full buy. I want to see how they are able to utilize their utility and not have those shortcomings where they're going to just be picked off by the AWPs. If you don't have enough utility and you have to dry peek against KNG and Fallen, you're going to lose. Like if that's what you have to do repeatedly, I think that's an indication that you have a lot of issues and you are very likely going to lose.
You're going to have a bad time.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to rotate back towards Banana. Fallen's waiting for them. Will there be a flash from JT? Well, there was going to be a flash from JT, but not before Fallen gets a kill. That's a nice kill from OC. That I don't think Fallen expected, and that could actually create some problems because OC's picked up an AWP, and they're going to get a bomb plant on B. Post-plant AWP on B is pretty scary in the right hands, and there you go. That's one of the reasons why.
Sonic swings, gets the information. OC misses the flick though. Fur with Jordan-esque air. He's got 8 bullets left in his magazine, but look at that. That was nasty from Fur. That leaves Floppy alone. A bomb's been planted, and it's about the bonus damage at this point for Floppy. Gets the 1 versus 1, rings the bell, but cannot finish off the job. And MIBR get their 5th round. 3-play survive.
That jump from Fur, like the fact that Fur knows that he has to make that play is kind of amazing. Because I feel like it feels like that's an easy shot for an AWP to hit, but he's hoping to jump over the scope, which is kind of what he was able to do. And if he doesn't kill the AWPer this quickly, there's big problems, I think.
He knows the AWP is there, so he doesn't have all the options in the world.
He killed 3 people with 3 HP. Or 2 HP, whatever he had. Oh,
like
amazing.
Device, but not with the pistol.
Nice. Fur is pretty damn good at this game.
Fallen expecting that smoke to cover that Molotov. Taking damage for his miscalculation. But Fallen's being confident and peaky. Why not? He gets kills all day. Why not?
What can you do about it, really? I don't know that 82K will find a solution in this half, but they will try to. And maybe they will. But this is one of the tougher tests for an up-and-coming team. Again, it's that depth. The sheer amount of experience for MIBR, the different scenarios they've been in, all the failures, all the things they've tried and haven't worked out, and the solutions they have found ultimately, and how they can use those failures and make those work in different scenarios. Such a great advantage all these years in the game. There's the opening kill for Sonic and ATK in round number 9, but they're low on time, 35 seconds. What does the information look like for MIBR? Fallen is creeping from Speedway with Fur playing at the back of the B bomb site. They look to split. Fallen has a gap. They're going to walk into it. More dry peeks, more simple punishes from MIBR. So many of those in this half so far. JT now, it's his turn to pick up the slack. Bomb being planted. 2 MIBR players remain.
It's a great opportunity for the first round in a while. It's been a drought. And it looks like they're going to make it work. Forcing MIBR to fall back. I wonder if this is going to be replicable, because, as mentioned, Fallen is starting to kind of feel it. He's getting the run of the map.
There is still time for ATK to adjust.
Yeah.
But it's easier said than done. It's going to be harder for them to do that than it is for MIBR for the reasons I just went through. But that does not mean that they can't do it. This is a great test to overcome adversity. It should not be easy. It should be hard as hell.
Down to 7 HP, and Fallen still gets the kill later on. Can't stop the bomb from going down though. So here we go. 4-5 as ATK pick up 1 more round. 4 to ATK, 5 to MIBR. And it's 4 Kriegs and an AK for the ATK setup. And double AWPs again for MIBR. Fallen and KNG in this series really been liking this double AWPs. And it's a fast top banana take. ATK. do get some forward nades coming in here from the Brazilians, looking to go for the aggression. But actually, and Fallen getting kills, that's unreal. I did not think they'd pull that out of the bag, but they somehow managed to do it. ATK really committing there. They wanted to fight, they wanted to trade those kills, but they got completely denied. And MIBR still have top mid at 1 minute, so that's a problem for ATK.
What is maybe in their favor is that they are in a 3 versus 2 as far as the B-bomb site is concerned. They have a lurk smoke at the front of the site, ATK. The problem with that is, though, that they can't take the site. It takes angles away, and maybe it could be one person here throwing this, an attempt at a fake. Then now they start to swing, the flashbangs are up, but they can't really afford to lose any players, and they will. The 5v2, White Peak. MIBR can wait for flashes from the well position, or just walk straight into the crosshairs from Floppy. The flash comes too late as they peaked early. The bomb may get planted, but there are 3 more MIBR players for Floppy to cut through. The first of which is KNG with the AWP. And it will be 6 rounds from 7 for MIBR.
Success short-lived for ATK. But really there, of course, they lost 2, they went down to a 3v5 pretty much immediately. Unfortunately for them, they were trying to fight that, and there's a world where they come off 5 versus 3 or 4 versus 4, and both of those situations are, of course, immensely more favorable than where they found themselves. So I feel like that isn't an indication that they failed, per se. Obviously, they didn't win the round, but they did create an opportunity to get a couple kills. They just were unable to outskill their opponent in that instance.
ATK back on the buy. The current score doesn't really tell us how strong it feels for MIBR at the moment. Warning shots down Banana. The smoke goes away, and I wouldn't be surprised if Fer just went for a flank, to be honest. MOTM with the pop flash towards top of mid. Here comes the swing. Taco's ready for the first one. Lucas is here to trade, trying to be a bait or something. There is a smoke on Arch, and MOTM will be blind. Great precision. Fer taking him out and leaving OC now in a 1 versus 3. It's always the low numbers for ATK, it feels like. A smoke towards Mozo, trying to avoid a grenade. A flick from an OC, and Fer's arm was enough to make it a 1 versus 2. It's all AWPs on a retake.
Yeah, it's kind of an odd one, isn't it? How do they attack OC? This is it's kind of awkward because you want to trade onto him. Gets back behind cover in time. Where is the other player? Where is he? Was the one that just shot at him? He doesn't know that either. At this point, the reset has taken place. He's actually got a good read on this, it seems. He understands exactly what's going on. He's going to win this, isn't he? He's got the 3rd kill, looking for the quad kill to finish off the clutch. There's the tap on the bomb coming in from Fallen as he tries to take the corner. Both players whipping their shots again repeatedly. The whiffs come through, another one. OC does get Fallen as he tries to escape, but he too will die to the bomb. But they win the round, that's what's important.
Huge, huge round from OC. Coming in clutch, being the opera that you need to win those rounds. And as you see, the double op retake is a little awkward sometimes. If KNV maybe, or KNG had a rifle, that could have been a way different round.
I kind of wanted to see a slow-mo replay of those missed shots. So we see so many nice shots. What about some missed ones?
Like really desperado.
I'm happy with a nice one, Sam. I don't know what else to say about that.
All right, well.
Oh dear, already. It's just not easy, is it? MOTM goes back to the well and Fallen denies. The AWPs are in your face. They're all over the place. Oh, they're lining up for KNG now. They're doing whatever they want. This is just a great statement. This is like Fnatic on steroids, bath salts, crack all of it. Mix into a pot or however, I don't know. OC in a 1 versus 5. MIBR showing their might. Showing that there is no answer to this. Not in the vacuum of this map of Inferno.
There's so much identity with Fallen on the orb. It's such a powerful presence. And then that's before you even talk about KNG as well. On the other side of the map. Is he going to walk into this one? Oh, it's shouldering it. That's the correct way to do it, but he gets taken down. And if we consider the fact that ATK did win the pistol and converted the following 2, they've only had success otherwise in 2 rounds in this half, and that's a blessing. Because it does total to 5, of course. And that is going to give them, even if they get no more rounds, it will give them a fighting chance on the second half, but it is obviously far from ideal. And you have to just sometimes bear witness and just appreciate how how amazing the MIBR players are when they get going.
They were major champions, so it shows that the caliber of people on the team is, even though it's not the same team, they've been there, they experienced it, they know what it takes to get there.
Hot flash up top mid, and there's a smoke straight into the apartments. KNG is waiting. There are targets for him. He'll take 2. There's the 3rd one. 4th is stolen away, and you see the last player now. OC falling to the floor on short. A quick 8th round for MIBR. They'll collect the upgrades to the pistols.
So hard for ATK to find an opening against the CT. MIBR, as we said earlier, is just running around with the AWPs, just peeking. And ATK is pretty much walking in the AWP scope. So you kind of think, as if you're ATK, maybe you need more pop flashes. Maybe you should try a Hall's pop. Something a little different than the standard slow default.
There's a push from Fur. He gets the first headshot, the trade through. How much does MIBR commit? They're feeling confident. Fallen spamming that wall as he loves to do, and he's going to get out just in the nick of time, but Lucas will be sacrificed to the gods. But maybe Fallen is that god. Maybe he's about to show us. Maybe he won't have to, because the B-bomb side has not been targeted by ATK for a push. Instead, they'll be content with just leaving a JT. And that is why you leave someone top banana. Punish the information plays. Taco getting a little while to line that one up. And now it's just Fallen remaining. 1 versus 3. And I feel like he's gone Super Saiyan in this game. So maybe he can do it.
Oh my god. Alright, there's the trade.
You believe,
I mean, why
don't you?
not just catch them off guard completely? And who knows where the other positions may have been for ATK. Well, there it is. Despite how great this has looked for MIBR, ATK have got 6 rounds on the T side with a very good chance of making it to 7. So, while we thought that MIBR were abusing ATK in ways that they can't do necessarily versus teams with more experience at the upper echelons of CS, and maybe that's true. But still, ATK have got 6 rounds on the board, and they're moving towards the CT side scene. But first, they will look to get that final round and reduce the cap to its minimum at half-time.
Yeah, if ATK gets 7 rounds, it's going to be... I just would be very surprised. You know, it's just a surprising result given the dominance. But again, like if you -3 from ATK's scoreline, obviously that's what they got 3 rounds from the pistols. They've only won 3 in buy versus buys so far, all half.
Yeah, that's why it's looked so bad. But it's all about how it is in real terms.
You should write this round down, James, for your combo. Your smoke Molotov combo that Fallen just tossed that round.
Okay. If you insist, the Bears.
I insist.
Okay.
Well, opening kill by Taka. That's very necessary given that they have a huge disadvantage on the weaponry. The way to mitigate that is finding aggressions, finding quick kills, creating problems before the team who is in an advantage finds their way onto the site or in a setup where they can take the site with nades and so on. And ATK begin to try and seesaw the MIBR defense as they now make their way across to the banana position. And there's a 2-man setup here. It's on Fur and it's on Fallen to deliver the defense.
The clock is so low. Can it just delay just a few short seconds? Doesn't seem like they can. Cavalry is nowhere close and that bomb should get planted. KNG has an angle though. If he swings, and he does! 10 seconds on the clock. He's waiting for the desperate push towards the bomb, but he might just get eliminated as well, forcing the MAC-10 back. The bomb will get planted 1 versus 2. And that's a none versus 2. ATK indeed will get that 7th round on the board at halftime, despite the battering they took in the rounds MIBR 1. We'll see if they can win the other pistol after the break.
Be like Bottle. Build your own community with your very own hub. Join other hubs and play more maps competitively than ever before. Compete for prizes and win Faceit points just by playing your favorite games. It really is that simple. Join the community or create your own. Only at Faceit.com.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to CS.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
And we're back.
So we had a question about the coach of ATK earlier, and we received a helpful tweet from Ashton Muller. So thank you. He says, the coach of ATK Arena, Dr. TCCS, has been the coach with pretty much all of the iterations of this international lineup since joining Bravado Gaming back in 2016. Back home, we call him the Doc.
The Doc.
Well, it looks like MOTM needs a doctor because Tacos popped his face open like a book. I don't know that you pop open books. Look, I tried, okay? Let's move on swiftly and not dwell on it. 3 ATK players remain as Bardolph has tongue twisted and Floppy's trying to hold control of the apartments. But he's got some issues because Fallen's showing presence. There's also a player in the graveyard who could deal with his angles. Floppy goes and Sonic is trying to make his way as the last man standing with the kit. This has not been the most successful pistol round, and now they're on the chase. Sonic may have to just hold on to his Kevlar, or he could try and run back into apartment to defuse the bomb. That would be epic, but Fallen would deny him. That would have been the most hilarious thing. Probably wouldn't have happened, but you can only try. You can only try. There's been so much talking going on.
You can dream.
It's a show of talking. The odds were pretty close at the start of this Inferno. They have now changed somewhat significantly.
Yeah, it's weird how open the game is, considering the domination of MIBR in that first half, and considering the domination with the scoreline was quite odd. But such is Counter-Strike, and ATK, not to take any credit away from them, obviously they earned the rounds that they got. Good to see the great equalizer in MIBR winning their pistol. Make it as even as possible. And there's a lot of smokes still remaining for ATK. Of course, it is still early in the round. And MMBR might just go for the burst into the B-bomb site, which would be fantastic. What a way to mitigate the utility here of the CTs. They are going to go straight past all that utility, and they will take what is theirs. The B-bomb site has been occupied. The Brazilian flag is now poking out of it, and ATK will have to save what they have.
Speaking of flags, when I was in Azerbaijan, in Baku, they have a giant flag by the sea. And it is the sea, Dan. It's the Caspian Sea, okay?
Nice.
And I think it was at one point the biggest flag in the world. I think they were beaten to that title by another flag. But at some point, it was the largest flag in the world. So there you go. It's a pretty big flag.
Does it wave in the air because it's so big, or is it on the ground, or how's it flag?
What would the point of the flag be if it was on the floor? Of course, it's on a flagpole. Spares.
I don't know how flag physics work.
I appreciate your question. Well, a flag generally goes up a pole and then waves in the air. Thanks.
It's
to
true.
the wind.
Yes, that's a flag.
I couldn't go into further detail, but I think that's the basic parts of it.
I would think it'd be so heavy that it'd be hard to like wave in the wind.
Depends on the strength of the wind, I suppose.
I guess so. You are by the sea, so a lot more wind is by the sea.
Indeed, the Caspian Sea.
Well, the next round will be commencing, well, has commenced.
How's it, Dan?
It has commenced, and the take of Banana has also commenced. MIBR looking to deny the information from ATK, but they have 3 players here, so they may go for an information play. They may try to go for a take, but they have smoked it off as a gap, though, which is never nice.
Is that a deliberate gap, I wonder?
Maybe.
I don't feel like it is, but I feel like you could easily... I think that's a hard one to mess up, unless you don't normally play B.
Yeah, well, they're not going to play with a gap, so presumably it's not on purpose. And here comes the take of A. MIBR once again keeping it simple, just clicking a bomb site and going in hard.
Yeah, what they're doing is, or part of what they're doing is giving ATK minimal time to respond. They're not trying to telegraph their intentions too much, as we saw towards Banana on the round prior. They just burst. They burst, they overflow. Connection. I'm surprised KNG didn't keep the spray up there. But there we go. MOTM forced to use a smoke grenade to hold on to $1,700. His armor, his 5.7, his flashbang. OC fishing somewhat. So he didn't quite have position. Oh my god. Oh. He was still looking for the trade fragger. He's going to get all kinds of items out of this. Yikes. He's looting like it's PUBG. Oh no.
How about
as Prius would say.
How about an AK?
2 AK-47s. That is a turn for the events. Saves him $6,000.
It was an advertisement for the 5.7 right there.
I switched to the 5.7 recently. It's good. I think it's better than CZ.
You're mental.
I think they have different uses. I don't know that I would go as far as to say something as wild as that.
It's a one-shot kill if you're up close.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if
the CZ is like brainless spray, and arguably more guaranteed because you don't even have to aim really. Just spam into the body. Oh dear, Floppy looking for information. Can be expensive, but it's ATK's turn of the luxury of the AWP angles. Man advantage for ATK has fallen, charges into the A bomb site, into a crossfire. Again, just trying to rush, overwhelm the likes of ATK. Taco had a smoke which he could have used for the other side, but he chose the pit. But nothing doing. Round number 8 for ATK. Taco's got some money to drop, so we might see a hero rifle here in the next round. OC is ready for it. That's a great flick from OC. He had to be fast, and he was. That's just a nice series of frags. Props to him. Those were nice.
Yeah, OC's been playing really well this series, being a thorn in MIBR's side. Trying to neutralize KNG and Fallen. The duo uppers.
Here we go, through the flames from MIBR. They've got somewhere to be, and JT will help them get there quickly. It's a team kill from Sonic, and 2 players will be lost. That's unfortunate, but such is life. It's onwards and upwards for MIBR. ATK moving into position, but we've got a smoke to deploy. Floppy will be looking towards the barrels, and Fur's on the way up. He'll get taken out immediately. Great awareness. The HE grenade towards the default plant does minimal damage, but a second one. Lucas on 84. Now will delay things. It allows the CT to get a little closer.
Yeah,
Nice
smoke for Banana.
I like that.
Banana. And we'll see if they can actually make this retake work for us. The Krieg is going to pick off one. He needs to reload actually, but it is a very fast reload on the Krieg. He ducks behind the smoke to do so. He just wins his battle as well. Leaving OC alone with the AWP is going to be very difficult. He'll make it as hard as possible. That tag is going to give his position away even further. Won't commit to the full hold. Takes off, but he can go for the hold now. This would be very interesting. If he goes for the full hold, it might actually work out. It's very close. Oh, that was 400 seconds. 400 seconds? 400th, a 400th of a second. And he was close. 400 milliseconds.
That was a round that MIBR should not have won. But I've said that a couple times this series so far. And just a poor retake. The Inferno's a little harder to retake, but we did see smokes and flashes on OC and Floppy, and Floppy decides to dry peek without any coordination from OC in that situation. Ultimately cost them the round.
Another chance is here, but ATK, I wonder, will they hesitate now because their money is oh so low. OC and Sonic's turn to wield the dual AWPs. Dual AWPs would be hilarious. But anyway, Fallen will have the only one. KNG comfortable with the Krieg, so we're seeing some variation. Maybe KNG more effective rifler with the Krieg over Fallen. Maybe a preference for Fallen to warp on Inferno. He is maybe one of the best battle snipers in the game. Sonic re-tagged through the wall and forced away from his position. MIBR showing how to deal with these AWP angles. And they take the information away from ATK on Banana.
OC once again rests on his shoulders. He's really been so instrumental. I think Eric, you mentioned it. You know, OC really is a big focal point for the team as the AWPer, and he will be fed into Fallen's angle again. MOTM on the bomb side. We'll try to bait with that smoke, make them think that he's playing an off angle, but he's close. Oh, he's absolutely nailed it. What an intelligent play from MOTM, suggesting that he's playing a one-way, when in reality he's pushed up close. Fantastic work. It's made it into a 2 versus 2 with the bomb on the ground. Looks to punish, but Sonic is far away. MOTM's kind of alone at this time. He needs to survive. Sonic rushing to position to help him out. And they'll try to go for a plant right now on the corner of the bomb site. As Sonic lurks, they must know where he is. They definitely know where he is now. Oh, such a shame. MOTM did such a good job.
Nice recovery by MIBR, but also, again, awesome play by MOTM in that pit. Fortunately, ATK cannot capitalize on that situation. Now they're putting themselves into a pistol buy. You know, some utility. A lot of smoke, so we've been seeing a lot of smoke buys on CT, kind of half eco, half buys.
That was a great effort from MOTM. Very noble, but kind of like a Last Samurai situation. Where's Tom Cruise? 3 smokes for ATK in this eco round. MIBR very close to a 2-0 now. They'll have a fair few chances. There is the burst, MOTM falling back on a P250, and once again it'll be a waterfall of Brazilian players eliminating ATK, bleaching the floors of A, leaving them sparkling, but smelling kind of weird. Bleach is not the most handsome smell in the world, is it? What a great smell. JT and Sonic will creep and try to find something to get out of this. Sonic will have an AWP for about 1.1 seconds. There's only been 1 CT round here for ATK. Success is a stranger to them. They don't really have a whole lot to fall back on. We did this early, guys, this worked, and so on. You don't have any of those conversations, really, with just one round 1 from 7.
Yeah, there's been some glimpses of hope here and there, but ultimately it's been denied by the Brazilians. They've really turned things up. I think, they have a lot of respect. I think ATK have earned a huge degree of respect. And so I think that only serves to grow the strength of MIBR. The more respect MIBR have, the more focused they're going to be.
HE's in the apartments. And maybe more. MIBR deploying a lot of grenades. They've had quite a few rounds which have felt pretty fast. And maybe they feel confident enough to experiment with some of their T rounds versus ATK. Nothing beats a live environment. Sonic is tagged. What does he choose to do? Seems to be in 2 minds as to what he wanted to do. Wasn't really holding the off angle. Half jiggling, but now he's gone. He's history. He got smoked like a kipper. J2 makes his way to construction. OC will be punished. KNG's just waiting there. They're inviting the peak. They want it, they yearn for it, and they will punish all of them. Whether there's a smoke there or not. I feel like the round hasn't even started for ATK, and they are saving as MIBR make it to match points.
MIBR so strong right now. They are working the map like an instrument of some description at which they are very proficient.
What?
A protractor.
I think it's time for you to go home, Dan.
Hey man, you've had some janky moments yourself.
I have. Well, there it is. It's match point for MIBR. Again, just a 1 round for ATK. So the road back is unlikely. It is arduous.
It has caltrops on it.
That's a good word. I like that word. I like that word.
Caltrops?
Yeah. Solid.
Catwoman has caltrops. I only know that from a segment in that Batman trilogy of games. She uses caltrops. Great series of games, but anyway, Counter-Strike is the greatest game, and MIBR will look to add some more history to their name, as they are very close to making it to Arlington, Texas. They want that brisket, tri-tip, the other bits. I need to learn some more things in Texas, and I soon will. Sonic jump peeking. Banana's been difficult.
Yeah, it's been very hard to hold on to. Lots of pressure. Fallen's always threatening picks with the AWP. Sonic has limited support, the single pop flash to get out of position. And you can see him walking there instead of just running all the way in case that pop flash triggers a peek. And he's punished changing position, so you can see the caution is expressed. But even within that, there's a risk because maybe Fallen does peek with the AWP at that moment and still gets the kill, which I think has happened. It's caused ATK to stack towards B, and they don't have information to really do this. This is somewhat of a gamble stack.
Hoping and praying. They will expect a usual take of mid. But at what point do these grenades start to become fishy? Got a smoke towards Moto being lined up. MIBR have intentions of CT isolation. We'll see how successful they're going to be. In fact, the rotation from ATK is heading back towards the A bomb site. We're going to smoke up from the CTs between a site and double stack, which gives them some cover to try and deal with these players. And here comes the rush, overwhelming MIBR all over the place. But they are at a man disadvantage. So on the site, they're in 2 versus 1 now with the popping of OC. KNG over the top will leave JT with all of an MP9 to keep ATK alive in this game. Fallen has the angles. Oh dear. There's a chance now. KNG can play the bomb, but he's going to play the angles instead. Just walks out there with the brazen headshot. And these highlights are brought to you by NVIDIA.
It was a tough one for ATK. I think they earned a lot of respect. The game of Mirage, as James said, was perhaps one of the best maps, if not the best map we've had all week. And ATK played a pretty high level, but MIBR, I think it just made them stronger. It just turned them up a gear.
It was really fun to watch. I think that obviously the big match was Mirage, but we saw good things from MIBR, which I'll talk about first. Of course we saw them notice the patterns and so on and figure out how to counter the plays of ATK on ATK CT side during the game. And again, as it went on, it just grew with power, like Ares God of War. Things only got more difficult for ATK, and again, experience and presence of mind really helping MIBR to just give themselves a bigger advantage. It took them a while to learn what their advantages were versus ATK on the server in this particular series, and they took it there.
Yeah, I think ATK had a pretty good showing. It's just like a lot of factors which they could do a little bit better. If you would talk about this first, and then I can talk about that. Damage.
Well, yeah, scores on the doors, we can see the damage, nothing that sticks out too much. It was a great day at the office for MIBR on Inferno. And again, we just saw so much from them, they just seemed comfortable. I think that everything was solved for them on Mirage. Now we can look at the bracket and see what this means, because there's more Counter-Strike to be played this week. eUnited versus MIBR is going to be tomorrow. After a really rough start versus the Quest, MIBR somewhat stabilized versus ATK, being able to turn things around in one map rather than 3 maps like they did at the beginning of the bracket. And eUnited have been 2-0ing all the way to the finals, so this will be an interesting one. Maybe we will see some Vertigo. It's been a favorite of eUnited. They've got a big chance ahead of them tomorrow to try and topple MIBR and make it to the finals. Once again, this is the final week, but did you want to make some comments about ATK?
Yeah, just they always started off like hot. They'd probably win 5 or 6 on their T side, and then they start to slow down, and you see a lot of mistakes. And I think that could tie them just more timeouts. Just maybe after 5, you know, if you notice your teammates making a lot of these like careless mistakes, call more timeouts, slow it down, talk to them, at least tell them, hey, don't camp here 5 rounds in a row, MOTM. Move your spot, change something up, do something different. So, because a lot of these rounds are pretty close, and the match score is kind of, you know, as well. So, you just want to capitalize on everything that you got. You know, you have timeouts, use them, please.
Well, it is time for the HyperX X Factor play of the game. I think for Fnatic it was clear, but for this series...
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea. Oh. Yes, this was a save round. And this makes a lot of sense. This is when ATK, their game plan was working, they got 6-1 up, and then Taco, he just blew up the B split by himself with these deagle shots. Yeah. And it was just too overwhelming.
And let's not forget this Krieg one. Here we go. I was going to say, like, for the play of the game, I think is just Taiko kind of saving MIBR, because if these rounds go the way of ATK, and this score is very, very different. So you saw it was 7-5. MIBR were able to start the comeback, and there was a lot of individual play from Taiko which kept him in that game. The deagle, the Krieg, the general positioning. He is playing lights out this week. He has been really strong for MIBR. Very, very notable, and it does not go unmissed. We have developed into the 428th day since we could draw on a map, so let's not forget this will continue to tick. It will tick tomorrow as well during the North American broadcast. Now, we're all done here. You know that we're all going to be playing CS immediately as soon as the show is done, and so should you. You can on the ECS Hub if you want to. You can put in ECS into your FACEIT client, look at the organizer page, see the cups that are coming up, and get involved, win yourself some points and maybe some prizes as well. That's going to bring our show to a close for today. We will all be back tomorrow for the final day of week number 5 in ECS Season 8. We'll see you tomorrow.